What's good, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of The DJ's Take.
I'm Donnie.
And I'm James, and on this show, we talk about the music industry from a fan's point of view. Donnie, what are we getting into today?
Today we will be discussing what happened to hip-hop music last year.
There was definitely a notable decline, and so I feel like that's fair to highlight it. We can start off with just first things first, the numbers declining. Let me read this Billboard article that first brought it to everyone's attention. It says, 5 reasons why 2023 has yet to yield a number one hip hop album or single. And it was Lil Uzi Vert in June to when he released his it was number one. It was the album.
Yeah.
That and I think the album went number one. Yeah. And so that broke it, and it was the first time in hip hop's 50 years that was that long of a break of not number one. Yeah. So what do you think?
It's
also we got our producer Tim, our hip hop head over here on the mic.
Find any better?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So he'll be interjecting as the show goes on. All right, my bad. Go ahead.
So I want to say it's the lack of actual talent. Mm-hmm. It's the lack of actual being good, like people, and it's just pure laziness. We got to a point where you can literally drop an album or a song and just stream it. It's easier to make it, so there's more quantity than quality. Let's be real. Like, I like YoungBoy Never Work Again, but my man can drop literally like 18 projects in 1 week, and I'm just like, okay, well, where is any substance? Like, I like this artist. I like NBA YoungBoy. However, he saturated it. And it's just everybody wants to be a clone. Everybody sounds like either Travis Scott. Everybody sounds like Amigo. Everybody wants to sound like a Future. And it's why I get really excited whenever an artist comes out that sounds really different, or whenever J. Cole drops, or whatever. Like, even Drake drops. I'm like, okay, thank God. At least somebody that's doing, what he has been doing is out. But it all sounds the same. It takes zero effort, and it shows.
I would agree with you. And the ones who we do love get killed. Pop Smoke,
XXXTentacion.
Yeah, he passed.
Nipsey
Hussle.
And
but I will say, let's be fair with the Nipsey thing. Nipsey passed, and I'm like, were y'all repping Nipsey before then?
So
he was just starting to really
get his respect.
Mainstream come on. He had some mainstream pops for a little while, but he was finally starting to get his mainstream respect.
And because him and Lauren London was becoming a face power couple, people be like them. So it was getting to that point where he was social media was finally playing in his favor, and people started being like, well, who is he? Who is this guy that's dating it? How are they a power couple? And unfortunately, he passed away. But also, I do think another aspect of it is, I'm going to be real with you, the white audience, man. It's if you're not weird, they don't care. They love themselves some Trippie Redd. They love themselves some Lil Uzi, but let there be, you just gotta be weird. Or it's look at it, Jack Harlow, number one.
But I'm going to say this.
I wouldn't say Jack Harlow's weird.
Not to say he's weird, but he's white.
Oh,
he's an anomaly, right?
Fair.
So it's
but I will say, historically, it's one of the only aspects in life. But white people, you have to go over a hurdle to be respected in hip hop, kinda, because even white people don't really want to hear a white rapper that much. Machine Gun Kelly and G-Eazy, I feel like people are
I don't think they had the talent to back up what they were claiming, and that's why they fell
Jack
off.
Harlow's
But
so
however,
likable.
whenever they did come out, they were like, "Oh my goodness, here this G-Eazy guy," Yeah. And I think it is easier for as we see Eminem. First things first, he got the numbers to back it up, and he got the skill to back it up. However, why is his numbers bigger than Lil Wayne?
Yeah, but go ahead.
They should at least be tied, right? I
agree.
We got to be real.
I agree.
For one, I'll say the reason why I think hip hop is suffering is because, one, oversaturation. Two, from the fact that whenever you had to make music before, everything was at a desperate pace. You had to go look at who used to be the leaders in hip hop back in the day. They were all broke. They were all in broken homes. Mm-hmm. They all come from nothing. Most of these people that are making music now, the SoundCloud rappers, the people who are just popping off with the art of the internet, they're not broke. They're not hungry. They just want to. It's more for clout than everything. Clout is the currency.
And then on top of that, Tim, when it like leading towards your point, beef. We don't have no beef right now. Let's be real. Like I'm talking about 50 Cent and Ja.
But here's the thing. The beef is too real now. We do have beef, but the beef is too real. People are getting clapped early. Like it used to be on wax for a long time.
Like Quando Rondo and King Von. King Von. They actually took that man's life. It's like it is too real. Yeah, I agree.
Like Pop Smoke, like Nipsey Hussle.
Pop Smoke was a robbery gone wrong, and then Nipsey was like. There was like with crazy ex-con who just Nipsey disrespected,
and he was flat out in the hood.
He wasn't even a rapper. I'm talking about
all these people. We claim to like. We want to say they keep it real. They don't forget where they come from. A lot of these people all died in their hoods. Like Pop Smoke didn't, but Nipsey Hussle died in his hood. XX died in his hood. Like and in Florida.
Offset who died also. Rest in peace to him. There's a lot of great people that died, man.
Young Dolph died in his hood.
Offset's gone.
Dolph. That is crazy.
All right, so let's go over some of like the biggest albums and moments of the year in 2023, because to be honest, I feel like even the heavy hitters who did release eventually, they did numbers, but I still don't think it was numbers, and I don't think that the albums are iconic. We'll start off with Drake for All the Dogs. I think that it was underwhelming for me, and I'm a big Drake guy.
It was mediocre.
Lil Wayne dropped Welcome to College Grove.
I didn't even know.
Same.
Hold on, I can't.
Did I say it wrong?
It's Collie Grove, baby. It's Collie Grove.
Lord have mercy, James.
If you're a Lil Wayne fan,
My bad. I messed that up. I'm not a Waynie. And then we have Offset's Set It Off album. I actually like that.
I banged with that heavy.
Gunna, A Gift and a Curse album. F You Mean.
That was it.
It's
just like, okay.
Travis Scott, Utopia.
Didn't even listen to it, which is surprising. Like I used to love Travis Scott.
I did like Utopia a little bit.
Everybody sounds like him, and he keeps producing. He sounds the same and everything. I can't keep doing it. I can't. I really can't.
Then we have, this kind of goes both ways. I don't know what we would put her, but Doja Cat, Scarlet, and Paint the Town Red definitely popped off, and I feel like that's hip hoppy.
Doja she annoys me too much. I really don't
she
like
annoys
her music.
me too, man.
So I not taking away anything from her talent. She clearly is a force to be reckoned with in her own right.
The thing is, we don't even got to be respectful about Doja because she hates her fans. So like she's open about it. So like I feel like we can go at her.
That's true. It's just I don't like her. I don't like her as a person. So it makes me like her music a lot less.
The public perception of her personality I don't like. I don't know her personally, obviously, but the way she gives off on social media and stuff like that, she's just, man, she seems whack to me.
I hate the perception like that all artists just have to be a weirdo in order to be an artist. Like I was so happy when we had like the baby was out, and
we were
like, man,
big
we got
the baby
clean
guys.
Cut man that does it. He's not being weird. He's about his business. He can rap. Dope. And
but that is what oversaturation brings. If you, the number one, everybody eats, everybody gets some money, more opportunity, but at the same time, oversaturation makes it harder to be unique. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you have to get more and more obscure to be unique, and that's how you get some of these people, the Verts, the Yachty's, these people with orange and yellow and hair and all these, and little peeps and all this stuff like that. You have to find new ways to be unique, because if you're not, you get lost in the algorithm, man.
Yeah, because if you do look back at the old heads, LL Cool J, them, they were always like swaggy guys.
Yeah, like why can't we just be that anymore? Like to each their own,
but let's
definitely.
What used to be unique about people was their accent, their flow.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You hear Busta Rhymes.
Nobody
sounds like Busta Rhymes.
One of my favorites.
So he does that. Nobody sounds like T.I. Nobody sounds like Tupac. Nobody sounds like Biggie with the nasally voice. Nobody
sounds like Jeezy.
Yeah,
like these are people I specifically.
Yeah, Jeezy sounds like his emphysema when he raps.
Disrespect.
My goodness. My goodness.
I'm a T.I.
I love me some Jeezy.
I love him too.
I put him on in the weight room and I apply pressure.
But let's talk about one of the biggest persons in hip hop, and then we can stem off from there, and that's Nicki Minaj. She dropped Pink Print 2, highly anticipated. What did we think about the Pink Print 2 album, and what did we think about the rollout of Pink Print, and what do we think about Nicki Minaj in 2024?
I'm disappointed. And I would say, like I said, when it comes to Ariana, you are too great to be mediocre. And it was mediocre. There wasn't a solidified hit. And then on top of that, like, I know it did well.
Super Freaky Girl, she put on it, and I will say that was definitely a certified hit. It instantly went
I agree. Like, she had, but it's like we waited for so long.
Yeah.
This is iconic Pink Print. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't leave it alone if you're not going to do it better. You get what I'm saying? Or make something else. But if you're going to be Pink Print 2, I expect you to go stupid on it. And then it was, what I heard was just a bunch of like remakes of other people's songs, like Billie Eilish's song on there. And it's just like, Billie Eilish did it better the first time. You know, like, I mean, I need you on it. So now it would have maybe been dope if her and Billie would have collabed, but it's like you should have got on that song earlier.
Billie is notorious for not collabing with nobody. Like she doesn't.
I think if a Nicki Minaj would have,
we say that.
See, I think we say that, but like Billie Eilish, like, if you're a weirdo, I'll collab with you.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, hey, Khalid, what's up, bro? Let's collab.
True.
You know. So no, I don't want to hear that. So collab.
Here's my new take about Nicki Minaj, and I told you this a little bit behind the scenes. I think Nicki Minaj is the best actual female rapper when it comes to the actual art of rap. I think it's not even a close competition. However, I think in every other aspect of being an artist, I think she's very poor at. I think she can't perform. I think her music videos are not iconic. I think Anaconda is probably the only iconic video. I think that her stage presence is weak and whack. I think her fashion isn't very iconic. Like, when you see these new girls, the Lottos, the Cardis, the Megs, even City Girls, like when they're performing, they have branding, they have good catchy songs that are undeniable hits. They have great iconic music videos, great fashion moments. I just think Nicki's style was so dry and dated, and she's bitter. Like, I just wish she would.
As you say, dated.
Yeah,
I think she followed her peers, because Nicki Minaj at one point was just basically the only rapper as a female. Remy was locked up. There was nobody really that was with her. Little Kim was past her prime. There was nobody but her, so she was hanging around, I felt like, a bunch of dudes. And this is a shot towards the R&B rapper. No, I mean the R&B, the rappers in general. Your music videos suck, bro.
Yes.
Like, they suck, guys. We're tired of just watching y'all be in the club.
Again, that's why I like Offset.
Suck.
Offset is creative because he loves Michael Jackson. He's creative.
Moonwalking, waking up in the bed in the middle of the streets. He's creative. And I think one thing that makes him creative is he hangs around a lot of creators, such as Kai Sant and all them boys. So it's like he wants it. He wants to stardom. He pays
He's
attention
dancing,
to the
choreo.
And that comes from the Migos too, because when they walk it like I talk it, they've always been talented and they've been doing it. They're around the right people. However, all the rest of your other rappers, you're lazy, you're low budget, and it shows.
I agree.
That's why a lot of y'all don't stay around.
And also, like, be like the pop people. Like, go to interviews, go to magazine covers, like, do what you need to do to have success and longevity. Don't just release an album on Apple Music and that's that.
It's a lack of
and
work
go on
ethic.
the Breakfast Club.
It's a lack of work ethic.
No, you gotta grind.
They're not Kobe Bryant. They don't look at it as I gotta go. And I would understand if y'all were like Kendrick and Cole and you were chopping every 2 seconds, but you're not. You're less talented than by a mile.
Yes.
And you're doing less than them by 8 miles.
Yes.
Do what you're supposed to do. A lot of y'all are lazy. You're even late to give your verses to the people that are asking for the features. Do better.
And now let's talk about, because we talked about Nicki, let's talk about the female rap game in general, because I feel like female rappers, they're probably the most popping out of the new coming rappers.
It's because they care.
Yeah, it's because they care. But let's address it. Something that Tim said. It's something that Tim said earlier. Yeah. I can't stand Sexy Red. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'll tell you what. That's how you know the DJs are what make things pop in this world. Because my word, man.
Absolutely.
I call them DJs. I'm old school. But the beat makers. And so, like, man, they making all the hits right now. It don't matter what you say. That ski that was gonna pop no matter what. That beat was fire. Just whoever got it first, it was gonna pop.
I think it's also fun to say ski. So I mean, like, people like
she
that.
definitely jockeying Thug,
but 100% she looked like him. But
she looked like Thug's twin, bro. She looked like Thug's twin for real.
she need to go take that Rico case for him. She need to switch him out. Bring back Thug.
No disrespect. But I think like something Nicki said on Joe Rogan's podcast is something that Tim said earlier. She said she thinks the decline in rap is because it's oversaturated. But I'm like, I think it's because Nicki just wants to be the only one. And I don't think that's the case when it comes to
it's
female
not for
rap.
the women. The female rappers are doing their
Yeah,
thing. It's
they're-
men
I don't
that
think
is
I don't think it's
lacking.
oversaturated by women. I think it's
Absolutely
the
not.
men.
Yeah.
She's tripping. There's what? Only her, Megan Thee
Because there's not very-
Stallion, Lotto.
Now, to
The
be
reason
fair,
why is there's not very many women who are that good. So the ones that are good separate themselves.
Yeah, and I will say, to be fair, she did flat out say, I'm not just talking about the women, I'm saying the men too, oversaturation. She did say that.
I understand.
So I'm
But
like, I
just
definitely
say-
don't think it's the women.
Yeah, but it's not the women at all. So just say the men. And that's why a lot of people don't tend to like Nicki, because it's just she always got something to say about the female rappers. Let them be.
I'm like, be
you already know
Beyonce.
what your image is. So how about you just support them? Jump on a feature with them.
Yeah.
Do something with them, you know? Be a big sister, you know? So that's my biggest takeaway from her. But however, like what? Lotto, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and what? We can put Sexy Red in there if we really want to, but
It was so weedy
oh, we
for
got
a little bit.
let's put some respect on Ice Spice. Like
Ice Spice.
That's like it.
And then if you count Doja and Lizzo, they kind of
I would never put Lizzo there. I would put maybe Doja there. We can talk about it.
Doja be spitting for real.
Yeah, she does.
And then you have other people who are big brands, not necessarily for their music, but for their brands like Saweetie, City Girls. You know.
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
not really like in somebody you would be like, oh, she's a rapper, like top 5.
Yeah, but there's other big brands. But yeah, I just wish Nicki moved like Beyonce, whereas Beyonce is like the undeniable queen, but she's never dogging on the other girls. Whereas Nicki is like the undeniable queen, but she's like dogging on the other people. It's like, no, lift them all up. Even if you don't think that they're worthy, still just like don't comment, because you're above that.
There's enough money out there for everybody.
Everyone.
Simple.
100%, just like it was back in the day. But lastly, do you guys think that this is just a little dip in the pond, or do you think that country music and pop music's just gonna rise back up? Because hip hop was consistently that genre for like about 50 years, you know?
I think we got to get rid of the clones, and then when we get rid of the clones, then maybe. But it's just the same things are being said, same things are being flexed, and that's just the honest truth. You know, I think Drake and 21 were the biggest artists of this year. You know,
Yeah.
so
I
I really can't say, but they have to do better, and it starts with work ethic.
Yeah, and we got to say definitely shout out to Jack Harlow. He's definitely one of
Shout out to Jack.
A huge
He
hip hop
cares.
head. He definitely cares. He knows what's trendy, hot. I didn't love his little recent album, like that one recent album. I don't even think there was any.
Talking about the one with first.
No. It's I don't think he had any hits from it. Yeah,
He's not an album guy. He's a singles guy.
Jackman.
Yeah, he's a singles guy, and he has to understand that. You know, unless you're gonna bring an iconic album, I wouldn't really focus on it, honestly.
Yeah,
It's like even with Jason Derulo, he just brings you hits, radio hits, and he doesn't really worry about album sales. They just bring us a hit here and there, and we'll be happy.
One thing that I do like about the hip hop though is that we're starting to age. Like I said, hip hop's starting to age. Like you're actually having old heads be still relevant and still sell, like Jay-Z.
That's what I like,
you know,
too.
like they're actually still out here selling.
And I think maybe we're sounding like old heads. I think we're tired of the music because it's like it doesn't reflect our lives anymore. Like I said, I didn't listen to Travis Scott. Well, I'm not going out anymore like that, so I'm not listening to Travis Scott. There's no really a purpose for me to play him.
I don't think so though, because the sales aren't there. Like
Okay.
I could understand if it was like the sales are there, but
or
we
are
just
we
don't
all
like
getting
it.
old?
But hip hop still would be.
Yeah, but
Don't lie, like
Doja is popping, correct? Like
But we don't like Doja from her actions, not necessarily from her talent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That is right.
You know, we do.
But
and then
even
when DJ Khaled drops, you know we be listening to that album.
I think artists and rappers are understanding what's happening though, and that they have to change it up. Because Gunna, I know for a fact I seen something that said his next album will be an album of actual substance. So I'm like, if Gunna can do it, everyone can do it.
Everyone can definitely do it.
I think everything comes around eventually. I think hip hop, it'll over time, people will get sick of the same old, and they'll come up with some. And here's the thing: the stuff that's old becomes new eventually. So everybody was about bars back in the day. It was all about the bars. It was all about how like what your flow was, and then it became nobody cared about that at all. And I think that's gonna come back around eventually. And when it does, hip hop will be rescued because that's where it all started. It all started with who had the bars, who had the flow, who had the swag, and it'll return there one day. And when it does, then hip hop will revive itself, and then eventually it'll go round and round in a circle until
it is.
You know, it is what it is.
I also think hip hop is so influencing every other genre because, like we said, what is Doja? What is Lizzo? Even Taylor Swift be like rapping low key. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of fluid at this point.
Okay, so I can dig that argument. You're saying like everywhere. It's not just rap.
Even country music. Look at Morgan Wallen. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying it's like not just rap is oversaturating it. Other genres are biting off of it, and it's causing for us to feel more overdone.
Overdone. Well, let us know in the comments. Do you guys think that hip hop will surge to the top again, or do you think it's a genre of the past? Let us know. And on that note,
I'm Donnie,
and I'm James, and this has been another episode of
The DJ's Take.